One of my favorite nights of the year, a night on which I feel a certain magic. I'm not sure whether it is the spirit of kindness I feel emanating from all of you, or the joy I see in the eyes of our children. But whatever it is, this time of the year puts a smile on my face, especially when the sun goes down and the night comes alive with a twinkling of the Christmas lights. And this Christmas, I also feel a renewed energy in our country, a little like the way I felt when our children took us a few weeks ago to the Global Citizens Music Festival in Johannesburg. Although I have to admit, I couldn't stay long enough at that music festival to watch Beyonce. This Christmas, I believe we are about to re-enter a new age, an era where we define the new South Africa. So tonight, thankfully, I don't feel compelled to spend much time, as at past Christmases, speaking about the need for our leaders to become more enlightened, more illumined, or more conscious about our country's social and economic crisis. This doesn't mean we should relax our vigilance. Despite feeling more hope-filled this year, we must remain vigilant and not be captured by those in power the way we sometimes have been in the past. But our new dawn does appear to be on the horizon, and we are grateful for that. Before I continue, I do want to express concern for our sisters and brothers in the Democratic Republic of Congo, who were meant to be voting yesterday in what should have been the country's first democratic transition of power since independence nearly 60 years ago. Please pray for Archbishop Masimanga Katanga, for Anglicans in the Congo, and indeed for all the country's people, as we look forward to elections, hopefully delayed only to next Sunday. Tonight, I want to focus on the biblical themes of hope and light facing us, and somehow less on the challenges of darkness and sin. It's a time for us as South Africans to speak about finding our cultural confidence, a time for us to remember our national values, and mostly a time to begin trusting again. Our gospel reading provides a rich context for our reflection on this holy night, and the ambience in the cathedral provides us with tools for deeper connection. And so let us return to the crib and the Christmas story. Tonight, dear friends, nothing remains ordinary. Everything is extraordinary. Of course, at a spiritual and theological level, as Christians, we know why. We are gathered here together to remember the night on which Christ was born and to unpack the message of the Incarnation, which begins with that birth. Those of you who have heard me preach on this night in past years will know that I am captivated by the nativity scene, which is part of our Christmas celebration. When I look at that simple crib and the humble figures who crowd in around it, I associate it with the title of that little book by Arundhati Roy called The God of Small Things. This book makes the point that pivotal moments, huge leaps in history, are often rooted in very small wonders. And each year on this holy night, we are challenged to face this truth, that God's vision of hope and light is embodied in a fragile, vulnerable baby. God's hope is manifested in an outbuilding in the courtyard of an overcrowded inn, placed in the care of itinerant parents, in a time of political occupation, in a place regarded by the world as the back of beyond. As we journey through the 12 days of Christmas to Epiphany, we see that challenge underlined again with the story of the Magi. There we are told quite categorically in Matthew 2, 9 to 10, that once those wise men left Herod's palace, the star which they were following appeared again. And when they arrived, despite being definite outsiders and having no claim to a place around the crib, there was, however, a place of welcome for them. We are told in today's gospel that there was no room in the inn, but there was room around the manger. And there still is room around the manger today. Indeed, a close reading of the Nativity narrative not only affirms that there is room enough for all around the manger, but that the manger is a special place for the marginalized, for those born in the back of beyond. Christmas reminds us that hope did not reside in the institutions of power or in the mechanization of the powerful. Christmas is the festival of the God of small things and the God of marginal people. It reminds us to interrogate the unlikely places if we are to find God's new and bold initiative of being with us.